Hello guys, and welcome back to the Wisdom of Warhammer channel. In this video, I will go over why the Eldar are cool and why there should be more lore and books for the Space Elves. Like in my other videos, I don't own the artwork in the video, and all things Warhammer under the ownership of Games Workshop and Black Library. Now, with the intro out of the way, let's get the video started, shall we? Starting off with why the Eldar are cool is when they were created by the Old Ones for the War in Heaven. They were the psychic warriors that were effective against the Necrons due to them being psychic after they fought in the War in Heaven and ruled the galaxy for over 60 million years, which is a really long time, and they were psychically immortal and still extremely powerful psykers. They also feel emotions on a scale that if a human was to experience those levels of emotion, they would go insane from feeling it. Another thing that I like about the Eldar is that their culture and mythology is very interesting, and it seems like it is similar to Japanese culture. Some examples of that are Siagorach, who is similar to a Japanese trickster spirit. Another big example is the path system and the Phoenix Lords. The path system seems very Japanese-like. The path of the warrior has multiple types of warriors, and there are other types of paths like the outcast and seer paths. The path system makes the craft world Eldar able to master that path, which allows them to find some discipline and prevents them from falling into the grips of Slaanesh. Continuing on, I wish they would go into more detail of the different paths of the craft worlds, which can allow people to learn and be interested in the Eldar a bit more. Also, having more detailed lore about the Eldar before the fall would be very interesting, because there was a time when they had to fight a race that was giving them trouble and enslaved them at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Also, it would be cool if the Eldar fought each other for a bit during that time, but not to a point like the War in Heaven. The War in Heaven, in the Eldar point of view, would be insane, but I don't think they would do that because it would be very long, but they could do a couple of books. At this point, the Eldar books that they have are not the best from what I hear, but I have recently read the book Lilith Hesbrack's Queen of Nines book by Mike Brooks, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought the book was good. It showed how the Drukhari truly are, and it shows how grimdark Kamara is, and even shows the politics of Drukhari society. Now, one thing that I would like to see more lore on are the Corsairs and Exodites, because they are some interesting Eldar because they aren't craftworlders and or Drukhari. Going into the two lesser known Eldar factions, starting off with the Exodites, basically the Wood Elves of 40k. The Exodites have big potential, but when they are used, they are only calling for help and are getting destroyed by the main character and their allies. Moving to the Corsairs, I would like to learn how they operate and what they do to survive, and they have a path system like the craft worlds. Even the characters of the Eldar have massive potential. I would like to see those characters grow, and from what I have read with Eldrad working with Gilman, and I think it would be good if they had an Eldar and Imperium Alliance that was out in the open. Because I'm personally tired of having just Imperium-centered books, and would like them to go into more Eldar stories. The reason for this is that there's a lot of potential to create good characters and or groups of characters. I do think if Black Library puts out more Eldar books, they might bring people who were not interested in the lore and say, hey, these guys look cool, and they learn the lore of them. So here is what I would like to see books starring these Eldar characters, starting off with Eldrad. I would like to see him become the Phoenix Lord of the Farseers because he is able to use a lot of power without him falling to Slaanesh. Even Jane Czar said that he could be the Phoenix Lord of the Seer. He also calmed the warp when it was not a good time to do it. The next character is Prince Uriel, and his story would be his journey to become the king of the Corsairs, because from what I hear from him is that he is an extremely skilled fighter and an even better commander, who has also held the first and second Tyranid waves when they attacked Diandon. Another character is Yvraine, the leader of the Ynnari, because I want to see what the Ynnari and her are doing in the galaxy and hopefully come up with a plan to get the last Crone Sword. The next cool character is Arendiel Voidsinger, who is also a Farseer, and she is rumored to have been there during the fall of the Eldar and the rise of the Imperium. There are also rumors that she is on good terms with the Harlequins and is allowed to come and go in the Black Library. One final thing is that she is a part of the Conclave of Tears, which is a group of very powerful Eldar that watch over the Jericho region, and I would like to see this expanded. Going into the groups that I would like to learn and see more are the Harlequins, Corsairs, and Drukhari, because this could open up some good opportunities to expand the lore and gain more people in the lore of the grimdark future of 40k. The Harlequins are extremely mysterious and can be one of the biggest players in taking down Slaanesh and the other Chaos Gods due to the knowledge of the Black Library and the Laughing God himself, Siagorach. Plus, the Solitaires are really cool. The next group is the Drukhari, and I would like to have a massive civil war that shakes Kamra to its core, and they would have to change how they operate and live because I know that a lot of Drukhari went to the Ynnari when the faction was introduced. Drukhari tend to have the worst hand because Slaanesh has a tighter grip on them instead of their cousins, so hearing that a new god of the Eldar was born, they flocked to Yvraine, who was a Drukhari before she became the prophet. Then coming back to the Corsairs, because I don't know how they stave off Slaanesh and how they differ from their cousins as well, because I know they are similar to the Ynnari but without a god behind them, and more tame than the Drukhari. But to finish up this short video, I just wanted to say that Black Library and Games Workshop should expand and go into more detail of the Eldar, because having so much lore on the Imperium and barely anything on the Eldar other than a couple of books, they're not so great. From what I hear, other than the Queen of Knives book, the expansion of the lore on the Eldar can bring more people into the hobby of 40k. Then they can learn about the other factions, because hearing some of the release of a new Imperium book about Space Marines, Guardsmen, Sisters of Battles, and Custodes is kind of old in my opinion, but I do like some of the Imperium-centered books. Now, I thank you if you made it to the end of the video on why the Eldar are cool, but need more lore video. And in the next video, I'll be on the history of the Soul Drinkers chapter, which is one of my top 5 chapters. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button and share with someone who would like this content. If you want to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified when a new video comes out. Thank you, and have a great day. This is Wisdom Warhammer, signing off.